Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Brianna Gorski and welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss taking inspired action towards your goals, towards your manifestations. Because in order to manifest, there's like 3 steps, right? The first step is to actually decide on what you want to manifest. The second step to manifestation is reprogramming your mind and, believing that you have it. And the third step is to take inspired action towards your manifestation, towards your goal. So yeah, let's really get right into it. But before we begin, if you want to book a one-on-one manifestation coaching session with me, and I'll just really get into it with you, and you'll literally come out of that 30-minute session a changed person, knowing exactly what to do for your situation, exactly how to manifest, and in a life-changing experience. So if you're interested in one-on-one manifestation coaching with me, you can click the link in the description box. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so inspired action. What is inspired action? Well, inspired action is any, I don't know another word for action, but any way, shape, or form that you're going to be progressing towards your manifestation, towards the version of yourself who has your manifestation. So, for example, let's say that you're trying to become famous. I'm using my example for this. What would the version of yourself who is famous do, right? Think about that. What would they do in the morning? What would they post on social media? What would their activities look like? What would they wear? And just thinking about that and kind of looking at it and be like, okay, what can I do right now? What things can I change to start living a lifestyle that version of myself would do? If I look at it right now and look at where I am and what I would do, for example, I would be going off to New York City at least every few months, multiple times a year. And that's what I'm doing. I would absolutely be going to every single New York Fashion Week. And guess who's already got tickets to go? Guess who's already got their hotel booked, all their activities? This guy right here. Yeah. So taking inspired action could be going somewhere that the version of yourself would absolutely go. I will film many TikToks every day. I'll post on TikTok multiple times. I'll engage with brands and people that I want to work with, and I'll treat them like friends or coworkers, because that's what I would do when I'm famous, right? I wouldn't just put a hate comment on a famous person's post, because would the version of myself who's famous do that? Absolutely not. And I'll treat them like my peers, celebrities, and treat celebrities like they're my peers. And I don't put them on a pedestal, because then that's not what the version of myself who's famous would do, right? And I put effort into the way I dress when I'm going out, or I'll do some research into street style and look at what's trending, what's popular. And I'll look at ways that I can kind of reinvent that, all these sorts of things. And I have a TikTok series where I say what I would wear to blank red carpet, or what I would wear to this award show. And by doing that, I'm kind of putting myself on the radar of 1, fashion brands I would love to work with, and 2, on the radar of production companies. So I just did a video of what I would wear to the Kung Fu Panda 4 red carpet premiere. And I tagged, Universal Pictures and DreamWorks. So now they have the chance to know who I am. And maybe they're like, oh, I like that girl. People favorited her video. Yeah, let's invite her. So, I'm taking these steps and I'm doing things and I'm running my life the way the version of myself who is famous would be. That's how I'm bridging the gap between this version of myself and the famous version of myself. I'm bridging that gap. I'm making it smaller. I don't know if bridge is the right word then. I don't know. But I'm closing the gap between me and the person who is famous, the Brianna Gorski, the celebrity, right? and all these sorts of things. And I educate myself on things that that famous Brianna Gorski would know, and just all these sorts of things. And I tune into award shows and I watch them from my television and act like I'm there in the audience. All these sorts of things are inspired action that you can do to take towards your manifestation. And get creative with it. Have fun with it. Seriously. Like, oh my God. Now, another example I could give is if you're trying to be rich, you're trying to manifest money, right? It doesn't have to be wealthy. It could just be like, you're manifesting money, right? Now think about this. Would the version of yourself who's rich worry about their finances and worry like, I don't have enough? No, they wouldn't. So that's another thing you want to do, is work on reprogramming your mind. It kind of goes one-on-one with taking inspired action, right? But what would the version of yourself who has like money do? Would they splurge a little extra on themselves? Would you treat yourself to a little meal? Let's say, for example, this was my dilemma this morning. And I was like, okay, do I want to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a breakfast egg and cheese sandwich? Or do I want to make one at home? And I'm like, I have the ingredients to make one at home. But also, like, an egg sandwich at Dunkin' Donuts is kind of just like $5. I could totally splurge and get myself a little snack from Dunkin', you know? Like, doing little steps like that are reasonable and something that the version of yourself would do. So I don't know, like maybe you have a little extra money to spend and this is like expendable income. Let's say you're booking a flight to, I don't know, where are you going? Where are you going next? And you see that there's an option for a business class or a first class upgrade, and you have that amount for expendable income, and you're like, oh, yeah, I should do it. Let's do it, because that's what that version of myself would do. And you're getting yourself into that mindset, into that lifestyle of a wealthy person. And just taking these little steps that maybe you wouldn't think are really gonna do anything, but if it's constantly in your brain, like, oh, I should be doing this because that's what this version of myself would do, and that's who I am, right? Using that I am instead of I will or I would mindset, right? So getting into that I am. And the second you start doing little things here and there, it starts to become natural for you. It starts to become natural for you to have these wealthy habits, these abundance habits, this celebrity mindset, right? And then it just starts happening naturally, and it's really fun. I think the moment, like, I have little moments where I'm like, oh my God, like a month ago, I would have never done that. Like, I'm so famous. Like, I can't believe I just did that. And I thought to do that immediately. That, like, that's so celebrity of me. Or like, if you're manifesting money, be like, oh my God, wait a minute. Like, that's so rich of me. And these habits just become second nature to you. And sure, it does take some time to get to that point, but not really. I mean, once, like, if you're incorporating it into every day, like pretty much every moment of your life, because that's what that version of yourself would do. They would take these steps, do it every day, right? Because that's your life. So like, it compounds really fast, and it's just, your life is like that now. And like, this is gonna change your life really fast. I mean, manifestation is all about just adapting this lifestyle, becoming it, and believing yourself, this is who you are. And you'll have it. That's how you manifest, really. And not focusing or obsessing on the manifestation, because by obsessing over your manifestation, you're automatically not gonna have it, because that's a lack mindset. So, you know, just working on reprogramming your mind, wholeheartedly believing that you have your manifestation. I'm gonna give you guys like a couple more examples, but I wanted to first once again say that if you wanna book a one-on-one manifestation coaching sessions with me, you can do that just in the link in the description. Really simple, really easy. Yeah, okay. So another example that I find people are trying to manifest a lot is love, manifesting love. And this is like also just the same kind of principles, right? So what kind of dates would you go on with this person, right? Maybe you would love to go on a movie date or go to a picnic, and do these things with yourself, right? Maybe there's a type of guy or woman or whatever person you're trying to manifest for a significant other in your life, And maybe you have in your brain that they're a wealthy person or they're a fun person. They like video games, right? Maybe the person you're trying to manifest loves video gaming because you love it too. Maybe you're gonna frequent by GameStop, or maybe you're gonna go to your nearest arcade, because getting yourself towards the kind of environment that that person would be in or that you would do together, that's already getting you one step closer. That's taking inspired action, right? You're getting yourself closer to your significant other. And just treating yourself how you would want them to treat you. If you want to have a good time just relaxing and maybe having fun watching a comedy movie, then do that for yourself. Watch a comedy movie at home and maybe like visualize that they're right next to you, right? Yeah, I mean, that's really where it's at, right? And that can also apply to friendships and everything too, right? Now, another thing I see people trying to manifest is good grades, right? So let's consider good grades when talking about inspired action. So let's say, right, want to manifest good grades. What would the version of yourself who has good grades do, right? Would they study? Would they do a little extra credit maybe? Would they email your professor or your teacher with follow-up questions? Would they reach out to other classmates? Would they, I don't know, maybe like go on a website to, what is it, Khan Academy? Maybe you'll do like another website to gain some more knowledge about what you're learning about, right? You do your homework, you study for your tests, you look at your syllabus, and just doing all of the things and having the mindset. Maybe you'd even listen to subliminals for good grades and surrounding yourself with people who have good grades, right? Maybe that's what you do to manifest your good grades, and you're gonna do it, right? Think about if you're trying to manifest good grades, if you who's watching this, if you're trying to manifest good grades, are you doing all those things that I just mentioned? If not, maybe you should give it a try, right? Think about, really just write down a list on your phone, or think about it in your head, or write it down on paper. Think, what would the version of myself who has good grades do? What would their daily routine look like? Would they wake up at a certain time? Would they sleep in? Do you study best? Like, do you have the most energy to study in the morning or at night? And kind of incorporate that lifestyle so that you can become that version of yourself who has good grades. And it's kind of that simple. I mean, obviously it can be easier said than done, but not really. Like, you truly believe it. That's really the concept of manifestation. Truly believing that you have it and believing that that's who you are, and you live that lifestyle, and you having that lifestyle, like, that's where it's at. That's what manifestation is. And that's how you manifest your dream life. So like, getting clear on what you want, reprogramming your mind to believe that you have your manifestations. This is you, this is who I am. And taking inspired action and like living the lifestyle of the version of yourself who has your manifestation, that is how you're gonna manifest like this. You are going to change your life immediately if you incorporate all of these habits into your life now, every single day, every single hour. I have a little bit of a challenge for you guys, some homework per se. If you're watching right now, listen up. So think about what's the one thing you want to manifest. And I challenge you, for every single hour that's left in this day before you go to bed, do one thing. Have one thing you're gonna do every single hour that before you go to bed, that do it that your version of the version of yourself who has their manifestations would do. So for example, I'm trying to manifest fame, right? And I think it's like 1 p.m. right now. So what am I gonna do 1 p.m. that's gonna connect me with the version of myself who would be famous? Maybe I'm going to post another TikTok. Maybe I'm going to reach out to a brand for a brand deal, right? Maybe I'm going to reply to some comments. Or maybe I'm just gonna do a workout and drink some more water, right? Any of that. And I'll do one at 1 p.m., one at 2 p.m., blah, 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 until I go to bed. And then I'm gonna start it again tomorrow, right? And just, that's a way that you can get yourself into the zone. Get yourself doing it. Make a habit. I think research says that it takes about 30 to 60 days to create a habit. and it's like 21 days to destroy a habit. So think about that. Do this for 30 days and watch your life just transform, okay? I love you guys. I hope this was helpful for you. Remember, if you want to book a one-on-one coaching session with me, especially with this like inspired action stuff, if you have a specific example that you want help with, absolutely, you could book it just in the link in my description box. It's meant to be a one-time thing. So even though it's just 30 minutes, it's gonna all be in there, jam-packed, just me and you, all right? Love you guys.